Hi, a short revision video for paper one under the new IB Business Management syllabus, first exam May 2024. This is going to focus on the specimen paper and how you tackle both the questions and the pre-release information you're provided. Hopefully it's useful. It's amazed me as a teacher as the years have gone by how I come across students who have no idea what they're up against in terms of the exam structure. So step one, make sure you understand it's 1 hour 30-minute paper, 90 minutes, and there's 30 marks available. Section A and Section B. Section A, answer all questions. Section B, you answer 1 from 2. Now, timing. The keys to success. Step one, once you understand the structure, break that structure down in terms of timing. The time allocation, as we've mentioned, 90 minutes, 30 marks. So section A, 60 minutes, section B, 30 minutes. Now, the research you should undertake for the pre-release, IB specify a maximum of 5 hours. Now, timing, fundamental. In exam situation, it's quite acceptable to start with section B. I tell my students to start with section B. It's a 10-mark question, but it's 30 minutes, as we'll show in terms of technique that requires an involved balanced argument plus judgment. Now, section A, short answer questions. Issue you're going to face is you cannot have a watch on the table in front of you. You're going to constantly have to look up. The longer you proceed through an exam, you have the law of diminishing returns. So you have to stick to that time allocation. Whichever section you start with, after the time is up, you stop and move on. It's perfectly acceptable if you make up time at the end and there's some questions which haven't been finished. You simply go back, put an asterisk next to the question. And it doesn't matter if it's 10, 12, 13 pages further on in your answer script. Just put question 1B, whatever, continued, and the IB examiner will treat it as one whole question. What information do you receive from IB in the pre-release? There will be key research topics. Now, I presume by now you've probably seen the specimen paper, and they had precision agriculture, use of drones, software and hardware development and sales. Now, you were just given those topic areas, and remember, it's only 5 hours maximum. So you really need to set yourself some research questions. So, for example, precision agriculture, what is it? Link it to the key concepts, sustainability, ethics. What's the business case for precision agriculture? Think about productivity. Look at your costs. Think about training. Okay. Think about abilities of people to interpret data. Now, the use of drones. Find some research. What is happening with drones? What they cost? How easy are they to use? Okay. The data they provide. Again, does it actually boost your productivity or not? Find some data out there. Find some background. Software and hardware development and sales. What's the trends in the market? Is it a growing market? Now go back to the case. Okay, 200 words as well, which we'll go on to. Okay, but go back to your business theory from the syllabus. Okay, think about markets. Think about market trends. Okay, what is happening in the market in terms of innovation? Okay, is it a mass market? Are there specialist niche operators out there? Okay, what is market entry like? Is it easy? What skills, abilities required to enter this market? So realistically, you have to take a holistic approach. Yes, focus on the key topic areas you provided, but in 5 hours, they're not expecting you to be able to write a PhD thesis and provide the research for a PhD thesis. Okay, it's context, understanding from those specific areas what is happening. Now, you're provided with the first 200 words of the case study. Now, there will be clues in there. Now, good practice. Again, here we're focusing on specimen paper. Look for names, Jackie. Look for timelines. 2010, company was formed. Okay. Originally wrote software help farmers use drones for aerial mapping. Allows for precision agriculture. So again, you've undertaken your research, link that in. Okay, so she's entered what? A growing market, a very small market, a large market. Farmers can determine which areas of their farms need more or less human attention, such as more or less fertilizer and what types of fertilizer to use. Sustainability straight away. Now remember, your key concepts underpin everything across the course. They're almost like a checklist you should have in your head and see how you can actually use them. Yes, you've got the syllabus. Okay. As you see here, precision agriculture increases yields, lowers costs, reduces environmental impact of farming. So again, Unit 3, finance. Okay. Increases yields, lowers costs, environmental impact of farming, corporate social responsibility. MT began to manufacture hardware related to precision agriculture. So again, strategic development of the business, Ansos matrix. Okay, market development, product development. Okay, so start thinking across the syllabus. Second paragraph you've given, context again, background, Jackie, computer science. So again, perfect skills. Now they've given you University of Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska, USA. Do some quick Googling. Have a look what happens around there. You'll find, okay, farming, agriculture. So she's majoring in computer science. At the same time, there is obviously demand for increased sustainability and, okay, impact on the environment, improve the business performance of farms. Now, benefits of aerial mapping, positive impacts on precision agriculture as the environment. Again, linking back to sustainability. World's population growing, humans' total ecological footprint increasing. Okay, so again, it's sustainability everywhere. Precision agriculture, increased food supply, reduce environmental impact. So map to the syllabus. Jackie felt responsibility to advance the field of precision agriculture. She's ethical. Okay, think about the objectives of the business. What's the mission of the business? What's she looking to do? Think about how you can link the course. Have the syllabus in front of you. Have your revision questions. Okay, and start looking across the course and where you can make links. Now, your research areas plus the first 200 words will give you context, okay, to what's coming next and when you walk into the examination. Right, key pointers. Let's just summarize. Check with your teacher. Okay, the pre-release case study material for May should be released in February. Timings. Make sure you know your timings. Section A, Section B, and you stick to the timings. And as I said, run out of time, stop, move on. If you make up time at the end, come back. Now, technique. When you walk into the exam, the problem you're going to have here again about time management, you have the rest of the case study. Now, how do you deal with this situation and not lose focus on timing? A lot of students I'm finding these days find it easier to go straight to the questions, look at the questions section A and section B, then go back and read the remaining 800 words or to 1200 words potentially of the case study which you haven't seen yet to give them focus rather than just read the case study and then look at the questions. You have to decide which one is easier for you in terms of speed and be able to link the questions, highlight, identify, write notes, underline, key facts so you can go back and find your evidence for the questions. Now, technique. Okay, technique I find when I'm working with students from a variety of schools. Technique is a weakness. Now we're going to move on to command words. In the question, marks available. It's quality of communication, not quantity. Okay, a lot of students ask me, how much should I write for this question? Well, how long's a piece of string? Yeah, it's the quality of communication. And the assessment questions focus on assessment objectives. The exam basically is a skills exercise. And hopefully what's coming up next will actually put this again in terms of some form of context to help you out. Now, section A, look at the questions in specimen paper. Command word define. Now, define the term democratic leadership. Now, the assessment objectives are A01 to A04. This is targeting A01 knowledge. There's no reference whatsoever to the case study. This is a pure knowledge exercise. Now, on the mark scheme, you can see a specimen answer that IB have produced. Democratic leadership refers to the type of leadership whereby employees, consulting, asked to participate in the decision-making process. Democratic leaders often use this approach because they value the ideas of others. Now, the simple marking, how are you going to score 2 out of 2? As it says there, basically, you score 2 if you fully understand what democratic leadership is. Now, that only requires 2 sentences as per that. You do not have to perfectly recite that answer, but think 2 sentences, okay, and look at the way they've developed those 2 sentences. It's clear that you understand what democratic leadership is if you can produce 2 sentences in a similar fashion. Now, yours as an examiner, 2 mark questions, I've seen people write half a page. Why? You're wasting time. You score 2 marks if you are precise in your written word in 2 sentences. Okay, and then move on. We've moved on here to the command word of describe. And in the question, they've referenced MT. Describe 2 elements of MT's marketing mix. So this now moves on from AO1 on its own knowledge to also include AO2's application analysis. So 4 marks on offer, it's 2 times 2, 1 sentence statement, 1 sentence explanation of statement. And here, pricing tells you in a case study, MT Snap $6,000, multispectral camera $5,000, cloud-based software. So literally, make a statement. One element of MT's marketing mix is price and how they price their products. So, for example, they're charging $6,000 for MT Snap, okay, which will position in the market, hopefully to target their market segment. Or again, keep it simple, okay? It's literally 4 sentences, 2 short paragraphs, okay, 2 sentences in each paragraph, okay, but use the evidence. They want you to lift evidence from the case study, okay, show you understand what a marketing mix is. You don't have to define the marketing mix. Move straight in. It's their pricing strategy, their use of price, and they're using this pricing strategy because. Explain questions. Okay, study the specimen paper, but explain again is AO1 and AO2 knowledge application analysis. It's 1 advantage, 1 disadvantage, so it's 2 times 2. Now here again, it's lifted what IB actually says is a specimen answer. So in yellow, you can see the knowledge, okay? Stroke application, red application. So as an examiner, you can see knowledge application all over those answers. So that's clearly 4 out of 4. Well, again, 2 short paragraphs, 2 short sentences. You referenced MT, okay? You don't, but it's quality of communication, okay? Please take that on board. This will aid your timing, okay? Think you have to explain orally and answer how precise you're going to be, okay? And look at what's here. Again, quality of communication. Now, section B is a different matter. Use command word discuss. Should accept or reject KC's offer to buy MT. So you've got reference to MT, but here you're looking at AO1, 2, and 3. Discuss requires a balanced argument plus a judgment. Hence, it's only 10 marks, but you have in effect 30 minutes to complete the section. Now, substantiated arguments, but again, quality of that argument. If you want to score 10 out of 10, the key to success here is understanding what IB examiners have in front of them to actually mark your scripts, which is coming up. Now, section B is subject to what they call levels of response marking. Simply, all the IB examiner does is reads your answer, then decides which of those levels you fall into. Now, obviously, we're targeting the top level 9 to 10. So think about the bullet points as a checklist. You want to be able to tick off each of those bullet points. Those are instructions to the examiner, and they look at your answer and say, yes, all of those bullet points are clearly identified within the answer. Now the trap is the last bullet point there in the 9 to 10 box, in particular with an explanation of the limitations of the case study or stimulus material. So your final conclusion stroke judgment, okay, remember it's a discuss question, okay, so you put in the argument for evidence, you're balancing your argument saying however, and then you draw a conclusion, okay, and then it's almost best way to describe it is your extended essay final conclusion, the unanswered questions. Pick out 1, 2 maximum limitations. You've made a judgment, but you should say however before they go ahead with the decision, or this judgment is limited because the information in the case study does not tell you X, Y, Z. Okay. Now, you have to, in your final conclusion, if you're looking for 10 in particular, identify limitations within your argument. You've presented a balanced argument, drawn a judgment, okay, and at the end, make the judgment, and then say how this is actually limited. Now, hopefully this has been useful as a background how to attack the case study. Okay, remember the 5 hours maximum terms you research. Take your bullet points research topics, draw up your questions. Okay, remember it's just the context, the background of what's happening. Look for the business application, think about your theory, think about your key concepts. Look for the clues in the first 200 words, and then technique, technique, technique. Timing, okay, command words, number of marks and offer, quality of communication, and in particular section B, become confident with levels of response, and make sure you understand the bullet points and you can master those bullet points and produce an answer to your 10 marker, which will clearly go tick against all those bullet points for the examiner. Put them in a corner. Now there will be, once the case study itself is out, materials, a revision video on that, so please watch out on our channel. Thank you.